Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel, and welcome to a free-to-play world. We are on Runescape World 11 because we're going to be talking about free-to-play money-making methods in this video. Now, this is going to be something we kind of encountered on the free-to-play to bond account, and I just wanted to do a bit more of a detailed video going through it because the amount of people I saw doing this method, which is going to be AFK smithing, was just mental. Like, every world I was in smithing, there was numerous people in, mainly doing like things like arrowheads, bolts, and dart tips for the rune variety. But I also think there's some stuff in Addy we need to go and have a look at as well, just to see like what it's like for profit. Now, because of this, we're going to be looking at two main items to start with. So the adamant bar, we just want to check the price for because it is a little bit higher than normal at the minute. So that's going to come in a price at 5.3k, and we can sell it for a price of, we'll find out. And then also the rune bar is very important as well. So the rune bar is going to come into price. And then finally, the last one is a gold bar. Because gold bar smithing as well, like, is very underrated and it's really decent. So 3.5k for a gold ore, which is really good. And we can just check the margin with this one nice and quick by just checking the price of the gold ore, which is very up at the minute as well. Gold ore is starting to climb. So 1.4k there. So per gold ore you're going to make 2k profit smelting from level 40. And from level 40 to get to you sort of rune levels, it can be a very valid option compared to Addy to do gold ore instead and to make quite a bit of profit with it as well. So with that done, we have just bought the rune bars and sold all that. So as we can see, let's go 6.6k for a rune bar and 5.4k for Addy. So we've already seen that gold ore already is very decent profit. And while we're here, let's just fill in one more other one. Let's just try silver ore, because silver bar as well can sell for a decent price. Silver. Yeah, silver bar as well is 2.8. Which is a pretty good price actually. Like, silver for the level it's going to be is pretty good. But again, it depends on that ore price. That ore price was quite high. I didn't buy for 1.5k, so you just need to check your margins. But those are sort of the smelting ones, gold and silver, are kind of a side thing. We're more interested in rune and Addy because of how AFK we're going to be. So 5.3k for an Addy bar, and we're going to be 6.5k for a rune bar. So we're going to go off to the Varrock sort of smithing spot, and then we're going to go and look through the interfaces. Now, the reason we've done this on a free-to-play world is because for free-to-play, this is probably one of the best methods I've found to heavily AFK your way to a bond, or heavily AFK your way on an alt as well, if you wanted to do it that way as well. Now, the way to do this is go to a forge. If you heat on the forge, it will, once you've selected the bar you want to do, it will give you all the options. Now for rune, really, you're only really interested in arrowheads, which are going to bring in 23.7k. So again, that's going to be something like a 15k profit. Rune dart tips, which is 37k, which is going to bring you a profit of 31k per bar. And then also the rune bolts, which is going to bring you 29.5k, which is a really good price for rune bolts. Is going to bring you a profit of 24. Now, something I just wanted to check, because it is non-members world we're on, I can smith rune darts. So one of the things which was sort of affecting us during our bond sort of series is that rune darts was significantly more profit, but because I hadn't been on a members account or members world before and completed tourist trap to be able to do dart tips, I couldn't do it. But if you have become a member before and you've done the quest and you've unlocked the ability to do dart tips, you can do dart tips on a non-members world, which does not work at all. It's it breaks my brain a little bit, the fact it's done that. But as you can see here, those 50 dart tips are done, and that's 37k. You've just seen me make 30k there. And what you can do as well is you can actually queue up a couple of these projects as well. So once you've selected it, as long as you right click and go open and just spacebar and then open and then spacebar, you can just queue these up. Now, one thing you do need to make sure though is when you're doing this, you're getting enough heat in your material. Because I'm 99, I pretty much auto do it. But if you're sort of low 50s, it can take a couple of ticks for you to get your full heat in your bar. And then basically what you do from this is you go and you create one project, and your account will follow on from one project to another. If you've got a full invo, you are literally talking a good 10 to 15 minute AFK just working through all your projects. Now, my advice would be, if you are just starting at level 50, the heat and the speed of which you sort of smith as well means occasionally you'll run out of heat in your material, so you will slow down. So it will be a little slower. So maybe if you can, if the option's there, or if you want to, you can get a couple more levels just so you can get some more heat in your material. I've never really sort of seen it firsthand how beneficial it is to have that and have those extra levels until I was doing it at level 50, trying to do these arrow tips, and then the material just got cold midway through. But it was because my smithing level was so low. But again, it's a fantastic way just to sit in AFK some money. Really good way to do it. If you are very low on starter cash, that's where I'd suggest using the smelting methods. Gold ore is a great way to build up some GP just so you can buy the Rune Bars. But also in the case of Rune Bars, you can just buy 100 at a time and then sell them and then buy more and more as your GP stack grows up. There's no reason why you have to go and buy 10k Rune Bars to get started smithing. Just start with a couple 100 bars and then start to rotate them, and after a while you will build up a huge stack of Rune Bars anyway. One thing I would suggest, never sit on like tens of thousands of darts. Once you get to a certain number, put them in a grand exchange to sell them for a high price, and then just keep smithing, because the chances are during that time you're like doing other stuff, they have a chance to sell because they're available on the grand exchange. So with Rune, I pretty much sort of stick to the ammo. The ammo is where you're going to make the majority of your profit. Now Addy is a little bit different, so we're going to go and have a quick look at some Addy projects. So with Adamant, the grand exchange thing is really good, and again, I would probably check margins before sort of fully committing. But there's things like Adamant Mace, you have the Adamant Sword, Scimitar. All these things here are 11k, apart from the Adamant Longsword, because the beach nerfed that and the beach sort of killed that off. But here, you are using 2 bars at a time, so you are sort of 10k in for it. But the fact is, you can do these at level 40 and make the kind of profit you're going to be making for Rune way earlier as well. So what I would do though is focus on like what items you want to do, check what the prices are, check whether they do sell, and check whether there is a margin, but then also have a look and see if it's worthwhile doing. Again, like the arrow tips, the unfinished bolts and stuff do seem very good and can be sort of more worth doing than the other items, but have a play around and try and understand what sort of methods are around for you to do as well. Like, I mean, the Adamant pickaxe at 25k is really good, but you just need to make sure they sell. That's the big thing. If they don't sell, there's no real point doing them. But make sure as well you understand how many bars they're going to take, because like an Addy chain body can sell for 30k, but it's going to cost you 5 bars, and that's 25k. Whereas you could sell something like an Adamant Mace for 31.5 and only use 2 bars, and you're saving yourself basically 15k profit just by doing something which is going to sell roughly for the similar price, but it's only going to cost you less resources as well. But again, these 2 methods as well as the smelting means that like smithing in free to play is probably on par with crafting the best money maker you can do, and it's basically the reason I was able to achieve a bond on the free to play account. But if you want a little projects account, if you want something on the side, if you want something to fund your bonds, or if you just want something to make money, having a free to play sort of smither just to sit in AFK is hugely beneficial. And what you're going to have with that account as well, the more you smith on it as well, the higher the smithing level gets. If you ever look and think, I want to put that account into members, that account already has a very valuable skill which will make you GP in members anyway, because smithing with smelting bars, you will make humongous profits with smelting bars with smithing, and that's without having to go and make any of the items which can also make you profits as well. Like higher end smithing in members, maybe not as like profitable as what this is, but there still will be profits in it as well. Like Elder Rune smithing has huge profit, Bane will, Nechrite will, and acocunt will as well. Or you could just sit and focus on the bars. Once you've got access to something like members, you can do the family crest quest and have the ability to use a bar bank, which is when smelting kind of comes into its own and really can sort of push things like smithing out of the way in terms of making money. But as you see, we've just been sat working our way through this while I've just sat and talked, and we're just basically just sat and printed some money. Like Rune dart tips are probably one of the most secure smithing methods going, because there's such a demand, especially with a double XP which could possibly be coming up soon. It will always be in demand because people want that kind of level of fletching XP. Because it's the best fletching XP for GP without spending stupid money, it is always very decent. So for this, we spent 8k, which will probably be like 50k we've spent in bars, and we've turned that into 300k just in sort of like talking throughout parts of this video. But that's going to be RuneScape free to play RS3 smithing and smelting. So we've gone through silver bars, which again, profitable, low level for that. Smithing, gold bars again, lowest level, very good for that. We've gone through Addy and Rune. Rune is by far the best out of all 4 methods, but Addy and gold and silver all have their place as well. All have different level brackets to get you to that rune item a bit sooner as well. But that's going to be in this video. We are going to be doing a crafting version of this as well, because crafting as well is very, very good in free to play and something which does stick out massively. But if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.